let's go ahead and talk about that autonomous driving with the trucks, man. I know that's a big one, for all those truck drivers out there, those businesses, those small business owners that have truck drivers.
So we want to talk about Aurora Field's nighttime driverless trucks. So they opened up the Phoenix terminal. Driverless trucks, I don't think we're talking a lot about that. Just talking about the trucking industry and how it could be impacted by driverless trucks. There were some, I think, years ago when it was kind of early concepts that are going on, but we know Tesla's in that space and we know other companies are kind of in this space. I really think that there's going to be a lot of changes that are coming up, but I see a lot of these kind of things popping up, and this one just kind of stood out to me because this is it can impact a lot of individuals that are truckers, a lot of small companies that have truckers. So I'm really wanting to get people's take on like, what do you feel about this? How far do you think this technology is going? And we can dive a little bit more into the specifics of this one. But
So I will say this. I mean, I've already shared, like, I want to say skeptical, but just apprehensive more so about just driverless vehicles in itself, whether it's a big rig or, a small Tesla, right? I think that right now, a lot of that technology, as although it's been around for a little while, it's still very early on and it's in its infancy as still. Even with the trucks, right? You're talking about driverless trucks. These are now we're putting a lot more mass where it's driving by itself, which I think on the flip side is great for truckers, because there's a lot of truckers that lose their life or, can take a life because they're losing sleep and the demand of shipping stuff, across the country on these highways, right? I think it's a good step forward. I'd like to see, how well can work practically. But I know this could potentially, of course, like it says, transform, the trucking industry with just the slightest bit of automated driving, right? I think it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out.
it'd be a lot safer because you just have I look around now, people they don't pay attention sometimes on the road. Not everybody, but there's just a lot of inattentiveness on the road. And like when you have family, friends, and just anybody, yourself, like you just want everybody to be safe on the road as possible. Now granted, not saying that autonomous vehicles are anywhere near where like humans can drive at the moment, but I just think that as it gets a little bit better, like I think that'll be cool because there's just a lot of fatalities on the road that hopefully will be avoided by whatever we need to do to kind of improve that thing. But it's just the fact that these trucks are out here operating. There's expansions going on. You have Tesla, you have all these other kind of automakers that are delivering this, and trucking as we know it is a pretty big staple. If you look at like careers that people, you might want to
Yeah,
grow up and get your CDL and all these other things. Like, what does that necessarily mean now? Is it still that you want to obtain that? And I
yeah,
still think like it's a good thing, and entrepreneurs can take advantage of it because maybe they can buy into this technology and still own a truck that has it, and they can still run operations that way. But it's just essentially like this is definitely something that we want to keep tabs on because like it is interesting to kind of see this slowly really coming more mainstream.
yeah.
Driverless for the time being, and as that grows, and just it's just interesting to kind of see.
Let's go ahead and shift gears and let's see what Sam Altman had to say, right? But essentially, Sam Altman got on a podcast and let us know that people share personal info with ChatGPT, but they don't know it can be used as court evidence in legal cases, right? So essentially, he said anything you say on ChatGPT can and will be used against you in court.
Yeah.
Take that as you must, but your Miranda rights may not apply for ChatGPT.
So you mean to tell me people been going in Chat GPT Deuce and they've been going in there and just like telling all of the like 'cause
Hey,
this
just
it's,
telling the
ask for
business.
advice and you're saying but like you're in there like oh I'm about to do this and how would you do X Y and Z like I think first of all I think that's wild, that's absolutely wild. Like I mean, and obviously you can't give Chat GPT stitches, so
But according to Sam Altman, they are legally required to retain chats, which of course can include your most sensitive stuff. People have, you could say, unlimited trust in ChatGPT. Like I said, people are using it and putting all their information out there.
when we're in the vein of ChatGPT, we want to talk about what they recently announced their AI agent or agent mode basically in ChatGPT. They have deep research. They've had operator, which is kind of agent mode is kind of more akin to the operator mode, but it actually combines operator mode with deep research. And so now ChatGPT is able to kind of bring up an instance, like it has its own web browser, and I think it's all available on all open plans now. So if you're seeing this, you should have access to it in ChatGPT. But now you can basically have it complete tasks for you. going back to what Dude said earlier about like, being careful out there with AI, because even this is the first feature, at least that I've seen Sam Altman just kind of really, in when he was introducing it, he was just like, hey, like be careful, because you can actually give it your credit card number, or you can give it your account number and have it go purchase some socks or purchase whatever for you. Like you give it a task and it's out there completing that for you. But there's websites that are malicious that have been out there, that also are spoof sites or whatever the case is, that's intended to get your credit card information. And AI isn't as adept, I guess, yet, or is not on our level yet to kind of decipher between a real legit site and a fake site. So that's what they were just saying, that, hey, be careful before you have it do this. You can still have it do other tasks like scheduling something on your calendar or like creating a presentation. And there's some other
Right.
use cases, but essentially you wanted to, yeah, that's one of the things. So, so what do you think about
Well,
the new agent mode?
the agent is here to stay. I mean, like I said, it's cool. Something I would absolutely use, but of course, not with caution, but just loosely in a sense, right? Like I don't use it to do certain tasks or run certain things for me, right? Those calls,
Yeah.
send out certain things, right? I'd use it literally as a personal assistant. Obviously, your personal assistant needs to know a little bit of information about you, but it's still create this for me, figure out this, right? Order this, order that. I need it. If I can create, just a mini me to do a couple of things, it would save me a lot of time, or just it would add value because it
Yeah,
might create time that I don't have, and it just does that for me, right? So
that's the goal,
I
man.
like
I
it.
mean, like these are long horizon tasks, is what they call them, of course. So it's basically,
Yeah,
an agent that's you know, that automates a lot of this for you. It goes out there and do those long horizon tasks, and it can take some time, like depending on what you're asking for. If it's creating a presentation for you, like combing through your inbox and just getting you organized and all those other stuff. But I really love the fact that it's spreadsheets, updating those, and then as well, just like going back to the presentations again, because it takes a lot of time to put into like getting things right for a presentation, and it's not the best as far as like presentation design as it is yet right now. So maybe we'll do some comparison, eventually on like some of the best ones that are out right now. If you really like PowerPoint, because I've seen some PowerPoint gurus, and they can make everything look all good. But it's the fact that it can iterate, and it's getting a lot better, and it's getting really good quickly. That's something that it is moving on. But
yeah.
that sounds like something we're
But
gonna have to
anyway,
find that and put that in the
right. But
comments.
anyway,
We'll come,
anyway,
yeah,
moving on to the next part. So our next topic, which is going to be great for you business owners, budding entrepreneurs, or just
yeah,
someone
buddy.
who needs help building a website. So there's a new company out there, and they are called, I believe it's pronounced Wegic, Wegic. So their main thing is RIP, rest in peace to web developers. This is the world's first AI website team, helping anyone transform ideas into income. Right. So a mindset therapy posted about them. Wegic is your all-in-one website team. It builds and manages your site all on its own. So if you have no website building experience or you need a site built very quickly, this site can do it in 90 seconds. However, this is not an ad. This is something we found. I may use this
Yeah,
myself. And
we
I know
got
how
yeah,
to build.
no
Listen, I
affiliation,
know how
no
to build
affiliate,
websites, all right? But I ain't got the
yeah.
time. You know what I'm
But it saves
saying?
time, yeah, because I've built them
Yeah,
before.
look,
We've
create
all
your
had to
website
at
in
some
90
point.
seconds through a simple chat. So it's a prompt. A few prompts, you can create a website. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, right?